This episode is entitled You Have Retired or Are Contemplating Life After Retirement. Now what? Now, I'm not coming at you as some retirement guru, some person this evening with a lot of advice on retirement. I'm coming at you simply with the aspect of my story that I've tapped into before, but I'm going to go a little bit deeper. I think some of you maybe relate to this uh, as I stream live to Facebook and LinkedIn. I've chosen two quotes, and the first quote is this from American coach Abe Lemons. He said, "The trouble with retirement is that you never get a day off." Somewhat where I find myself now, have found myself since I walked away from working public service a little bit over a year ago, February of last year. Really, I've not had a real day off. A lot of my time has been invested in doing the podcast. Uh, I had the opportunity to attend authors event last year. I'm more active now since relocated to the Burlington, Alamance County area. And there's another quote I'm gonna tie in with this, which is a quote by Frank Sinatra, a very well-known singer. He said, "I think the dirtiest word in the English language is retirement. When you do that, you get old and you get sick and you die." That's was something I often told people, often told people um, that that's don't want to just grow old, get retired, stop living. I've seen people just waste away. Chosen that not to be my case. But here's how now I find myself though doing this episode, and I know that a particular element of my audience will catch it, particularly on Spotify, which I ask that you subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. Become a subscriber. Catch the newest episodes. Catch the newest lives as they come up. As I will be bringing some new people on. But now back to the topic at hand. You have retired or are contemplating retirement. Now what? I found myself over the last year or so working faithfully in one of my side gigs, and things were going well for a while, and well, it just things just seemed to fall apart. Keep adjusting the string to make sure I get it in my shirt no matter what happens. I win because I had accept the fact that in this case, no matter what happens, I will win, even when the side gig fell apart. So I took upon myself a full-time job in retail of all places. It's a place I said I'd never return back to in retail. And I found myself having to make adjustments when it comes to even getting up here and going live because that schedule, though fluid, has been very taxing on me physically a lot of days. I found myself in the now finding myself in the now what stage. So in the now what stage though, I'm doing as many of you maybe doing who have actually retired from a regular job and taking on the side another job part time, to supplement your income or whatever. And it's just for one reason and other things, it's just not gelling. So I hope you've embraced it no matter what happens. I win mindset. And if you haven't embraced it, embrace it because that's where I'm at now. Uh, Knowing that I'm going to have to eventually make a major shift again. Because what's the point of being retired if you're not truly enjoying what you're doing, living life in a fuller way? What's the point of it all? What's the point of walking away from punching a clock for someone else instead of when you instead of punching your own clock? Because, like Frank Sinatra said, you can get old, you can get sick, and you die, and death and sickness and death finds all of us at some point. Uh, but the word retirement doesn't have to be associated with that. We have choices to go out with a bang, so to speak. We have choices to live life more fuller. We have choices to engage. And since this move to this new area, I've been able to engage again with the open mic, part of the open mic scene here. I even have been able to have a new book signing locally. Did fairly well with the book signing split Souls of Transition. You can get it on Spotify's audiobook. You can purchase it. as a paperback from Amazon. It's a cute little QR code that should be popping on your screen. You can scan that code and get access to so much. Uh, I would like, and in this new format, this newest format I'm using as far as the tagline for this show, my podcast, I encourage you to leave a comment, to engage more so, to share if you have retired, to share your thoughts on your retirement. Perhaps your words will resonate with someone beyond my own words. If you're contemplating retirement, share your thoughts and ideas with someone in the audience. Type it in the comments. Leave a message, either in the audio format or on the YouTube channel. Um, put something out there because, like I said, in this newly formatted opening for the show, this is a show for all of us. It always has been. Your opinions do matter. Your comments do matter. They can touch so many more people than my words can touch. You can impact so many more people. And that was a major part of my retirement that realized I wasn't tapping fully into. Yeah, I came out of the gate swinging with a lot of guests last year. And I flowed with the part-time gig and I did this and I did that. But I didn't really dive into this part, which is I've longed for. So to be able to get up here, to go live, to interact, to create this in video as well as audio format. And I've been privileged, I will say, in my place of employment, in an indirect way to guide, suggest, coach, mentor. When in the sense of, yeah, some of the majority of the people that I work with are a lot younger than me, in their early 20s. So when we engage in conversation, I throw out nuggets. And I also have learned to receive some nuggets from their youth. And we have built a fairly fluid operation. Needless to say, I'm not going to be there much longer, though, because I have to get back to, as I have gotten to this evening, jumping up here doing a live, embracing my own slogan, no matter what happens, I win, because though I'm winning there, in many aspects, I've lost there because I have not had the energy to get up here and work, live out my passion, live out my passion, which is engage, inspire, and be inspired by others through comments that may pop up on the screen, uh, so forth and so on. I'm on double checking that, even make sure that the pop comments are popping up there as they should be. If you're on Facebook, you have the opportunity to also send stars and support the podcast. Uh, yeah, there's so much happening here in my life and around the world. Uh, the whole media, global media, seems to be focused on what's happening in Iran and the Middle East now, which I'm not going to go heavily into in this episode, but I'll take a deeper dive at some point as this war progresses. A war I consider to be an illegal war progresses. What I mean by illegal war, those unpretty and unsettling, according to the legality of war as defined by the United States Constitution. Any act of war must be approved by Congress, whether we agree with war or not. And Congress did not approve the funding or anything else for this. But that's all I'm excited to say on this part of this show, because this is really, I would like to know in the comments here or Spotify, wherever you're catching this, your take on retirement. Do you see it as a dirty word where you just grow old and die? Or do you see it as in the sense that you're going to stay busy, you're going to engage with other people, you're going to get in your community, you're going to volunteer? Because at a meeting I had a privilege to attend yesterday, it was mentioned that so many younger people are too busy to live their life to the fullest in a sense. So many older people who have chosen to retire no longer want to step back out there and get busy again in many aspects, unlike me. And that's the choice you make. However, life is to be lived or life should be lifing, so to speak. And by that I mean engage, connect, engage and connect. We touched upon that in that meeting of the minds, that business meeting yesterday, about how people don't really interact anymore, don't really connect anymore. And a lot of that has to do with social media platforms here and so forth and so on. But I think the idea of connecting community is simply like this: reach out, share your information, connect, engage, but also, like I mentioned there, just give a smile to someone, say hello to someone, engage with a new person. There was a time when the world was definitely a much more friendly place than it is now. We can be the catalyst for that friendliness. We can be the catalyst for that change. We can come up here, get up on Facebook or whatever platform you're on, and do more than click and comment. And that's another thing about me jumping up here now. Honestly, I have been becoming more of a consumer of information. They're a distributor of information, ideas and thoughts and opinions by means of social media. Yeah, I click, copy, and paste a lot, but to really go in depth, we should be engaging more if we're on certain platforms, I think. Engage for the good, let your voice be heard, speak your piece or speak your mind, as someone was said. Uh, that's part of my retirement, me being retired. Some people say, "What do you do?" I'm like, run my business. And they're like, "What is your business?" My business, podcast, life is about more than living is one part of my business. Self-taught gear, which I'm going to take a deeper dive into and create more product there, not just with myself, but with the assistance of my wife. Perhaps at some point, some contractors will come in and do some design work. Who knows? Uh, writing more. Those who catch this on LinkedIn, I already updated my LinkedIn profile. Content creation. If you need some short content, reach out to me. Hit me up. Poetry Breeze 154 at gmail.com. Hit me up. I don't mind working with you and creating some short content, much as I do for my podcast. Uh, if you're interested in advertising on Life is But More Than Living, which has a extended global audience since it's now going up through YouTube, um, as well as Spotify, I'll be glad to give you a blast, a shout out up here. Hit me up by means of the email, poetrybreathes154 at gmail.com. This is part of my retirement. I love doing this. I love jumping up here doing this. So my retirement, it says now what? For me, now what is utilizing the time to pull away from the distractions. One of my greatest ones is getting lost in social media and getting lost in what's being shared by different neutral news agencies or agencies around the world, what's happening on the political landscape. That's part of it, but I'm gonna also bring some of that into this for dialogue. Um, coming to terms with spirituality as I should have done many, many years ago. Some things have never set right, so to speak, inside of me and my faith walk, my belief system. Even when I lived a conservative, structured life, I had the T's crossed, I's dotted. Even when I tried to embrace Christianity from the aspect of church, a more fluid, more liquid type worship system with the shouting, the hollering, and all the other things that happen, particularly in the black church. With everything that I read and studied was contrary to that. When my historical studies of the biblical text said, nah, this ain't so. This is more about show than being so. But to each his own. Because at the end of the day, people will still say, now, you have a right to believe what you believe. Yes, you do. We do. I do. But for me, my belief has to be connected to some realism, some solid facts, some evidence, not just believing in a book, the Bible, as I have done for so long, even though it plainly states it is the work of human beings. Only one place in the whole text, the Apostle Paul, said that all scriptures is inspired. We fail to focus on that word inspired. Inspiration comes from many sources, many types of scripture, but that's for another episode. Tonight, though, it's just that, you know, you're retired now, what? Make the best of it, however you choose to make it. I challenge you, though, not to sit around and just be a bump in the log. There's so many organizations that you may, if you choose to get out there, that are within your community that could use your skill set. If you choose to volunteer, if you choose to some way to get compensated for your skill set, mentoring, sharing, connecting is a powerful thing in a world that's so disconnected on the human face-to-face level. You're retired now, what? Make the best of your retirement however you see fit. Take time to chill. But if nothing else, do one thing that you're passionate about at least once a week. One thing in this retirement season, or as you prepare for it, think of one thing that you can do consistently on an ongoing basis that will bring you a measure of satisfaction that you would not get in a way imaginable, any other source. You have been blessed and given life to this point. You have lived long enough to celebrate life now, to say, I am no longer doing what I had to do to provide income, to provide revenue, to get by every day. This is my time, my season, my space. Give yourself the one thing that will bring you joy, satisfaction, and a measure of happiness, contentment. Give yourself that one, no matter what happens, I win thing. So that when you're doing like I was doing earlier, getting flustered and flabbergasted and working on something and totally not getting ready to jump up here and do the podcast like I planned on doing, I'm like, mouse, click, 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 off. Get back to what you plan on doing this evening. Talking about this topic of retirement now, what? Giving people two different opinions. The opinion of Frank Sinatra, who said, I think the dirtiest word in the English language is retirement, up against the opinion of the American coach, who said the trouble with retirement is that you never get a day off. Kind of similar yet contrasting opinions thrown in with my own that no matter what happens, I win. That this last year has been a roller coaster ride in many ways, but now I'm up here doing what I do, and in a few weeks I'm gonna really be going even harder. In just the last few weeks, a meeting that my wife and I attended yesterday, so powerful, so engaging, connected with people here on the local level in the Burlington area. Getting out and about and seeing so much happening, knowing that I'm going to be bringing back the open mic platform again in a different way. Being able to launch a new group, Try Poets in the Authors Alliance or Halo.com. Go to Halo.com. And yes, this time the group, there's a membership fee. Not like it was with Try Poetry Meetup, there's a membership fee. Jump in that network if you're a writer, author, indie author, a publisher, an editor, a proofreader. Let's connect. Let's build that community. Though it targeting the Davidson, Guilford, Alamance counties of North Carolina, it doesn't matter where you're at. If you have a online website or online platform that can benefit poets or indie authors who wants their work in print or audio, dive in there, join the group, pay the annual membership fee, join Try Poets, Indie Authors Alliance or Halo. That's Halo, HELO.com, where you'll find it, hello.com. I think there's a link for it in this text. Yes, it's on my link tree. Click the link over there, y'all. Well, we build community through that group here locally and face-to-face engagement by means of Zoom, by means of StreamYard, by means of YouTube at some point. Those are places you can engage with the group as the group grows and expands from your own locale. Where there will be an author there that needs a publisher, there will be an author there that needs an editor, there will be an author there that needs a proofreader, there will be an author there in a group that needs a marketing agent. There'll be someone there within the group that needs your services. And if you're in the group, then you have the freedom and latitude to do business however you see fit with each other. All I'm requiring of you is an annual membership fee. Anything beyond that, it's yours. No crazy numbers like other networks charge. Because at the end of the day, we all win. So that's my shameless, because I'm a shameless promoter. Shout out to my newest entity, business entity. But that's cool. Because it ties in what I said, living retirement out to the full, doing something you love to do, doing something I love to do. Only you know what you're passionate about. Only you know what you really love to do. So take that dive, make that move, embrace that thing that you want to do, and get the best out of your retirement now, today, tomorrow, as long as you have God-given breath in your body. Thanks for catching another episode of Life is About More Than Living, a podcast. Have an amazing week, y'all.